I do. Kissing Scott was great. It was done through laughter most of the time because Scott and I are like best friends, and he's kind of like a big brother to me. So it was very funny most of the time for us to be kissing each other. We couldn't believe that we were actually doing it, but it was very nice, and Scott's wonderful. Sure. It's my character, Sarah, going to New York for 5 days to look for her birth father and sort of feel like she's completing who she is so that she can find out information about maybe why she likes certain things and why she doesn't, and if she has any of his traits and if she looks like him and stuff like that. And she slowly realizes that while looking for her father, that New York could be the most perfect place to find herself, because New York is a place where you can go and constantly reinvent yourself, and nobody cares, nobody judges you, because everybody's there doing the same thing. They're trying to survive in a very big city and figure out who they are. Oh, really? You did? Oh, you could help me out, because I'm from Waco, so so New York is not something I'm used to. It's great. I mean, there is nothing better than filming in New York. There's nothing noisier than filming in New York. We had to like re-loop all of our lines from New York basically when we were there. It was amazing. But there's nothing more fun. New York is great, and I love it, and I completely know why Sarah is staying and continuing to be there. Well, you know, for the amount that our season is, which is about 8 or 9 months of the year, I'll definitely concentrate on the show, and if there's small parts and things that I can maybe do at the same time, then I'll do those. But I'll have the same hiatus that I did from Party of Five, which is about 3 to 4 months. So I'll be able to do like 1 or 2 films. And I just opened up my own production company, so hopefully this summer, thank you, hopefully this summer I'll be able to do a movie from my production company, which would be fun. Yeah. Singing was my first love, and it will always be probably my truest passion. But acting, I also love, and I feel really, really lucky that I've gotten to do both. And actually, on the new show, they've done me a huge favor, and Sarah gets a job at a karaoke bar. So every other episode or so, I get to sing at least 2 songs in there. Right now? Ah! It's early. I can't. You'll regret it. I promise. Have I done Broadway? No. No. Yeah, I would love to. I think that'd be really fun. I really like Les Miserables, and I loved Miss Saigon, but I've seen Beauty and the Beast the most. So. Yeah, I would love that. I think Chicago's great. Great shopping in Chicago. Love that. And one of my best friends lives in Chicago, so I would love to be there. Yeah. Well, I hope that I'm a good role model. I mean, I have to say, besides my normal job every single day, I take my job as a role model very seriously because I'm 20 years old and I know what it's like to try to find somebody to look up to, and it's very difficult. It's very difficult. So I try really hard for the people that do look up to me because it makes me so happy to be the best role model that I can be. And I think I'm an okay one. I mean, I'm pretty boring. I just go to work and then I go to movies and I eat lots of McDonald's, and that's about as rebellious as I get. So we'll have a lot of really boring teenagers in America very soon, which will be good. I don't know. I mean, I feel, I hope anyway that I'm an okay role model. No, no, no. Right now, honestly, I'm just sort of you know, dealing with the show and working a lot. I have no life but work right now. So. Good question. I don't know. I've asked that question a couple of times. I'm not really sure. You did a great job. You did an awesome job, and it was a pleasure. You take care. Bye. Didn't she do good?
That was nice.
She was great, wasn't she?
What's neat is she's like, she knows your work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's followed the show.
Hello. Hi. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty nervous about it. I mean, I'm nervous, you know, about it airing and wondering if people are going to like it as much as I do. But very excited about it and ready for people to see all of our hard work. Sarah gets some information from one of her mom's best friends in high school. She gets a name, William Lanford, and she gets an address for his acting studio. And then she gets her mom's apartment address, which is East 10th Street. And she goes to New York with hopes of you know, putting those pieces of the puzzle together and maybe that leading to her father. And we don't know if she's ever going to find her father or not, but what she slowly realizes is that while looking for her father, maybe New York could be the place where she sort of looks for herself as well. So it's good. Yeah, she learns the ropes pretty quick. You know, in New York, you're sort of forced to do things a little quicker than you'd like sometimes. So she's forced to, you know, become a little more New York than she's ready for, I think. No, it takes place mostly in LA, but we do go to New York, very much like we did on Party of Five, where we'd go to San Francisco for about a week, or you know, a week at the beginning of the season and maybe a week at the end, or just a week for the season, and sort of do exterior so people could feel San Francisco a little bit. We did the same thing with this. For the first 5 episodes of the series, we went to New York and we shot for like a week, and now if we get picked up for the rest of the season, then we'll go back in February and do some more. Sure. Jennifer Garner, her character is Romy, and she sort of plays my roommate, and she's a struggling actress who has given herself a year to make something happen for herself in New York, and she's slowly descending upon the end of her year. So she's sort of, you know, crazed and auditioning all the time, and sort of doesn't understand this whimsical young girl from San Francisco, but they very slowly become friends and realize that they're both doing the same thing. Jonathan Sheck's character, he plays McGuire, this guy that works in a record store as an ex-musician, and he sort of has a shady past that you find out about later, and he and Sarah sort of, you know, feel strongly for each other, but you don't know sort of how it's going to go. Gina Rivera's character is Joss. She's my friend who works in the bar and sort of gets me the job at the karaoke bar that I work at. Polly Perret's character, she kind of plays our Mr. Roper. She's sort of our feisty, you know, super of the building, and she's always giving us a hard time, but you very slowly realize that she's not as tough as she seems. And Diego Serrano's character, he plays a hairdresser. in New York, and he and I haven't had a lot of interaction yet, but he sort of has more dealings with my roommate, Romy, in the show. Oh, everything, it was amazing. It was unbelievable. I had the best time getting to feel sort of what it was like to step in her shoes every single day for a month and a half was just amazing. It was very challenging. I'm very, very nervous if people are even going to like it at all, but the most important thing for me is that I got to live my dream, and it's very, very few times in your life that you actually get to have one of your dreams fulfilled. So for me, it couldn't have been better and will never get better than it was. Yeah, I mean, I think I learned the same thing that everybody else is going to learn, which is that everybody just assumed she was this, you know, strikingly beautiful woman who had all this confidence and who must have just had this amazing life because she sort of came on the scene and was amazing automatically. She worked very, very hard. She was very, very insecure, and she had a tough life. I mean, she worked through a lot of things to get to where she was, and she was just the strongest, most amazing person I ever spent time with, so to speak, you know, doing the movie. On ABC. On ABC, and they're thinking either February or May. My mom, my brother, and my grandma are my biggest influences. But Audrey Hepburn was definitely one of my biggest inspirations, and Natalie Wood. Thank you. Take care. Thank you. Bye. Hi. Good morning. Yes. Hi. Sure. My character Sarah from Party of Five, Bailey's girlfriend, as everybody's known her for a long time, goes to New York for 5 days to look for her birth father and sort of feel like maybe she can complete herself and kind of learn more about herself through this amazing man that she's always wanted to know something about, and slowly realizes that while searching for her father, and though that will always inspire her throughout the entire series, that maybe one of the better reasons to stay in New York is to sort of find herself and become the person that she wants to be and is going to be, without you know, having the crutches of Bailey's love and his support and her friends and the family that she does have. Maybe just pulling herself completely alone with little money, having to fight for things is maybe what she wants and sort of is ready for. The characters are great. We have Polly Perrette, who plays our sort of, you know, very grumpy super of the building and just always wants rent. And you sort of find out that she's got a softer side than most people would think. We have Diego Serrano, who's great and adorable, and he plays a New York hairdresser and sort of this hot guy that lives across the air shaft, and me and my roommate, played by Jennifer Garner, who plays Romy, look across at him, and we're always staring at him taking off his shirt and doing things in his apartment, so we kind of stalk him and he stalks us back. Jonathan Sheck plays one of my very best friends in New York City right away, McGuire, who is an ex-musician and works at a record store and really helps Sarah out a lot just with life in general in the big city, and they sort of, you know, go back and forth with toying with the fact that they could be a couple or not be a couple. You know, they kind of go back and forth with that thing. Gina Rivera is McGuire's best friend, and she plays Joss, who works in the karaoke bar and sort of gives Sarah her first job, her first real job there in New York. And then, like I said before, Jennifer Garner plays Romy, who is my roommate, who's a struggling actress and has given herself a year to succeed and is slowly descending upon the end of her year. So we've got good people. No, it's shot in LA, but we go to New York, you know, for a week to a week and a half out of the entire season, and we shoot exteriors for like 5 to 7 different episodes. And that way people sort of get the New York feel, but we don't have to relocate everybody and their families to New York. Absolutely, and it's a lot more expensive in New York too to shoot, and because you have to shut down so many huge things there when you're filming that it's very expensive. So, thank you. Thank you very much. Bye. Bye, Dawn. Hi, Mike. Hi. Hi. Okay. Hello. Yes. You can call me love. There you go. Okay. I know, and I'm very sorry about that. I know, I'll miss you guys too, but I'll come back and visit. It's great. It's a lot of fun, and it's my character Sarah leaving San Francisco, as you said, to go to New York for 5 days to look for her birth father and sort of, maybe put some of her past behind her and have some things explained to her and just sort of feel like maybe she's a complete person for the first time in her life. And she slowly realizes in the first episode that maybe the real reason to stay in New York is so she can, find herself. And it's a really fun show. It's very fun to watch. It's very exciting. Sarah gets in lots of trouble, and it's good. Yeah, to say the least. I thought when they called me, because Chris and Amy called me on the phone, never in the history of my total existence on Party of Five have they ever called me in for a serious meeting with a serious tone in their voice in their office. So I thought for sure I was going to be fired. So I was really upset, and I was very nervous to go. And I sat down, and they were like, we wanted to bring you here because we don't think Sarah should be on Party of Five anymore. And I was like, oh, great, I'm just going to pack my stuff. I'll be out by tomorrow, And I felt like I was going to cry. And they said, because we think she should go to New York and have the time of her life. And I was like, okay, want to run that by me again and explain to me what you mean? And they were like, we want to give you a show. And I was like, what? And it took me a good 2 weeks to even realize what the meeting was about and that they were serious. So, yeah. Yeah, I was basically packing my trailer and leaving. Yeah. Probably not. You'll hear a lot of answering machine. I think so too. But Sarah, on the other hand, she's so cool that she's going to do real well there. But no, you'll hear a lot of messages back and forth on his answering machine and my answering machine, but you won't see actually any faces. A little bit. Right. I know. It's weird. It's completely freaky, but I'm having such a good time, and I feel so incredibly lucky and blessed, and I just try to work really, really hard, and I try not to honestly think about it too much, because I think it could get really overwhelming if I let it, so I just try to think of myself as, a working actor who has a job for now and could not have a job at any moment, and so that makes me work really, really hard every single day and try my best. They're making number 3? No, they're making Scream 3. Yeah, that's Nev. That's Nev, but thanks a lot. No, no, we're not. No, we're not going to do a third. I know, because I'm sick of the fisherman. Love. Well, have you heard about that? They're doing a spoof. I heard you. Yeah, it's called "I Heard You Scream Last Summer" or something like that. And they're doing the spoof on both of them, and I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be hysterical. Thank you. Oh, me too, but I'll come back and visit, I promise. Okay, bye. I'm good. How are you? Good. Okay. Oh, sure. Thanks for having me. Okay, good. Should we pretend that it's Monday? Hi. Nice to see you too. Oh, absolutely. That was completely real. Not one moment of that scene was acted. It was a very tough goodbye, and Scott and I literally, I shouldn't say Scott because he might not want people to know that he was a little teary-eyed that day. That's very uncool. So Scott, don't be mad if you see this. But no, I cried the entire day, actually, and that scene was very, very tough for me, and it was very hard. But I still get to see him and the rest of the crew and cast, and the new show is great, so I feel better now. Probably not. I think it's better right now to keep both shows separate and let them sort of breathe on their own for the first time, and you know, let Sarah be who Sarah's going to be by herself for a while, and let Bailey be who he's going to be, and sort of see how that goes. I'm a little nervous. I mean, it's quite a bit to carry, and you know, I have to say I'm working a lot more now than I did on Party of Five. But I'm also having a really, really great time, and I'm very excited about it, and it's really good. So I feel okay. Sure. First of all, the cast is amazing. Jonathan Sheck plays McGuire, sort of an ex-musician who, you know, owns a record store and really befriends Sarah very quickly when she gets there, and sort of becomes, you know, her best friend, and really helps her out with just sort of living in the city and life in general. And they sort of toy back and forth with the idea of, you know, maybe falling for each other, maybe not. Who knows what'll happen. Romy, this girl that I first meet when I'm there, is the girl that's living in my mom's old apartment 3E on East 10th Street, and she's played by Jennifer Garner, who's fantastic and like one of my very, very good friends in real life. And she and Sarah sort of can't figure each other out, but they like each other and they become like sisters right away. Diego Serrano plays this guy who we sort of stare at across the air shaft, and who takes off his shirt a lot. And yes, very much so, and we drool a lot over it and everything, so it's kind of a cute storyline, and he and Romy's character and Jennifer Garner's character sort of hook up a little bit, and they have like a sweet little romance between them, and it's good. Gina Rivera plays Joss, who is the girl that really sort of helped Sarah get her first job in New York and works with her at the bar. And then Polly Perrette plays sort of our Mr. Roper. She plays the very good yeah, and a lot cuter, I must say. But she's great, and she's such a good actress and really funny. And her character, we're not sure what's going to happen with her character. We're waiting to see, because right now she's just sort of the grumpy super that always wants rent. But from what we hear, she's got a good thing going on. So, yeah. You know, it's very hard. It's very weird, and it's something that that I'm not used to, and that I don't deal with well, because I don't kind of understand it or why it's interesting to people. But I do understand that it's part of the job, and that people are interested in that stuff. And you know, I'm one of those people that watches the shows and goes, oh my God, did you hear about so and so? So I understand the curiosity about it. But you know, I have to say that I have heard horror stories about press and things that have happened in press, and the press has been incredibly kind and incredibly generous to me, and I thank them so much for that. And I do understand the curiosity of it, so I just try to brush it off my shoulder and understand it as much as possible. Yeah. It was amazing. Every single day was like the beginning of a new life. It was just amazing. It was incredibly challenging. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. I completely put my heart and soul into it. I was afraid every single scene we did that I was not doing it right or that somebody was going to make a comment about it. I'm scared to death for it to air. But in the end, I will always know that in life it is very, very hard and very, very rare that you actually get one of your dreams handed to you and you're told, do it and do it how you want to do it and just revel in it and feel great about it. And that's what I got with this project. And so in the end, no matter what people say and no matter how it turns out and no matter what I look like or don't look like or whatever, it will always be one of the most special things that ever happened to me in my life, and I'll never forget it. So, yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you as well. Odette? Okay. Go for it.
Person again?
Yeah. Hi. Yes. Whichever you want. I answered a butthead, too. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm having so much fun. It's okay. No. Hello, hello, hello. Hello? No. Okay, it's called Time of Your Life, and it's my character Sarah from Party of Five going to New York to look for her birth father, and she slowly realizes when she gets there that maybe New York will not only find her father, but hopefully help her find herself. And it's really fun, and it's kind of a wild show, and there's lots of crazy stuff that happens, but it's also very, very much from the heart, and it's very Sarah. It was incredibly sad and very hard. It was a hard decision to make because I was very happy there and would have stayed there forever. But very much like Sarah, I was faced with the decision of growing up and taking a chance and doing something that you're not comfortable in and you know, sort of going out on your own. And so I did, just like she. I'll miss Scott every single day. I do miss Scott every single day because he's one of my very best friends, and we had so much fun working together. And you know, I thought Bailey and Sarah were great together, so I'll miss that stuff that we used to get to play. But I love the new cast, and they're amazing, and I'm having such a good time on the show, and I still get to see Scott, so it's okay. Yeah, my character gets a job in a karaoke bar, so I sing the karaoke hits throughout the show. Oh, let's just go back for a second and remember in 5 years of Party of Five, who did the cheating? Bailey. That's right. So I think Sarah's entitled to mingle a little in New York, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it, frankly. That's right. Yeah, there you go. Singing's kind of on hold for right now, except for, you know, the singing that I get to do on the show. And I just opened up my own production company, and we have a couple of projects that we're signed up to do. So hopefully this summer I'll be doing one for my company, which would be great. Sarah's basically the same Sarah that everybody, you know, likes and has watched for 5 years. But she's like anybody that you put in a new place with new circumstances and new people. She lets go a little bit. She gets in a little bit of trouble, I should say a lot of trouble, and she has her up times and her down times, and she has to really struggle and figure life out, but that's what she wants to do, and she does it to the best of her ability. Deco Drive Live? Okay. Hi, I'm Jennifer Love Hewitt. Please watch my show, Time of Your Life, after Deco Drive Live. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Oh, hi. I can barely hear you. Don't worry about it. I can... Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Hi. How are you? I'm doing good, thank you. Great. I have no answers. I'm just kidding. Bailey will be fine. I promise. Really? Well, I would just like to say that I would appreciate it if people would worry about Sarah a little bit too. Hold on a second. Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling better now. Yeah. But Sarah will be okay too for the people in the newsroom who are worried. I know I don't have dimples, but I'm still a person. No, Bailey will be fine, I promise. Yes. Sarah, her birth mother died, as everybody knows, a couple of seasons ago, and she kind of separated her relationship with her adopted parents, so she's feeling very alone and 20 and trying to figure out who she is, and sort of her only hope at this point is to find her birth father. So she goes to New York 5 days to look for him, and she ends up realizing that maybe New York can help her find herself too. So she ends up staying and sort of getting into trouble and figuring stuff out. Right. You won't see crossover, but you'll hear a lot of answering machine messages for a while. But you won't actually see faces on each one of the shows. It'll just be voices. Yes. No, we're not ruling it out. I do. Sure, yeah. Our cast is great. We have Jennifer Garner, who plays Romy, my aspiring actress roommate, who has given herself a year to do something really great and succeed in the acting world in New York, and is slowly descending upon the end of her year and hasn't done it yet, and who slowly sort of becomes Sarah's, new best friend. We have Jonathan Sheck, who plays an ex-musician, record store owner, who becomes Sarah's best friend also, and kind of helps her out with life and how to survive in the big city in general. And yeah, she's good, isn't she? Polly, she's great. Polly Perrette, she's kind of like Mrs. Roper. She's awesome. She's great. And she plays sort of our grumpy super. And she's got a storyline coming up that none of us know about yet. We're sort of waiting to find out what her deal is. We have Diego Serrano, who plays sort of the guy that we stare at across the air shaft and who takes off his shirt a lot. And he, yeah, that's good. And that'll get people to tune in. And he and Romy sort of have a relationship. And then we have Gina Rivera, who plays Joss, the girl that I work at the karaoke bar. And she kind of has an interesting storyline that sort of has to do with me and McGuire and all of that stuff. Yeah, it's really cute. It's a lot of fun. It's a very cute movie. It was a great part for me because I'm a singer. I got to play a record executive, which I think every singer should do at least once, because you get to sort of, do your version of the people that you've been around for so long. Working with Ben Stiller was amazing. He's so funny. And it was a great movie. It was really fun, and the guys are so great, and I hope people will go and see it because it's really cute. Oh, me too. I know, and we will try not to cause too much trouble. I promise. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, I pulled the Kleenex and got all dramatic on that interview. Did you? Good, how are you? Good. Awesome. Great, you're the big cheese. How exciting. Oh my God. Tell him I'm working. Yes. That I haven't told anybody else. I'm not actually in the show. No, I'm just kidding. It's all publicity. No. I don't know. What haven't I told them already? Yeah. Oh, I know what I can tell you. Well, in the first episode, and especially in later episodes, you know, Sarah, to handle stress a little bit, and just because she's in a new city and sort of out of control, she accidentally dabbles in alcohol. And the funniest part about that is I myself have never had a sip of alcohol ever in my lifetime. And so having to play tipsy and drunk was quite a challenge for me. So I had to depend on our crew members a lot to come and tell me stories from when they were younger, and recent times, about being tipsy and drunk and how alcohol sort of makes you feel. And so it was kind of fun. Yeah, I mean, my personality is scary enough. I'm sort of a scary individual. I have a lot of energy, and I'm very bubbly, and I already laugh a lot, and I'm pretty happy all the time. So I don't really need it. You know, it's just not something that I've done. And a lot of my friends did it when I was younger. You know, they sort of got into that thing when they were teenagers, and they went off and did that stuff. And so I've always like dared to be different. So that was like my sort of way of being different, thank God. So I didn't do any of that stuff, but it was very hard to play on the show. It was very interesting. Yeah. Right. Just because I played Sarah for a really, really long time, and I wanted to be involved in sort of where she goes, and I also wanted to be involved because I think it's always good to have different angles and different age groups on things, and every other person on the show is older than me by at least, you know, 4 or 5 years and up, and I wanted the chance to sort of give my age's perspective on what the audience would be interested in seeing, and how they would say things and how they wouldn't say things, and what they find, you know, exciting and good. I work a lot more than I was expecting to, and I get a lot less sleep. But the pressure is good. I mean, it's no pressure that's put on me by anybody else but myself. I mean, I put pressure on myself every single day to be the best that I can be in that role. And I'm very nervous about it. I mean, I don't know if people are going to be interested in seeing me without Bailey or interested in seeing me as much as they're going to in the show. But I hope that they will, and I hope that it actually has very little to do with me and much more about how great the show is and how well it's written and the cast and how wonderful they are. And, you know, so as nervous as I am, I'm just as much excited, I guess. Yeah, we have a couple of guest star ideas for coming up episodes. Maybe not necessarily in this season, but definitely next season. But in the pilot, we have 2 very interesting guest stars, which we're very happy about, and we're very excited and very lucky to get, which I think people will enjoy and be excited about. I don't want to tell you because then it won't be as exciting. Yeah, you have to watch. We do have lots of cute hunky guys. Jonathan and Diego are our hunky guys, and we have lots of hunky guest stars too. But they're more than anything, they are very sweet people and incredibly talented and a lot of fun to work with every single day. And you know, they make a lot of our female crew members very happy when they're working because they can stare, so that's good. We do. Oh, absolutely. Well, of course, we have Chris and Amy, you know, who created Party of Five and wrote Party of Five, and we now have them over on Time of Your Life, and they've done the same, and they're writing a bunch of episodes. And we also have a lot of writers who used to be on Party of Five and then went on to do other things and have now come back to Time of Your Life. And we have a lot of new writers. Our writers are fantastic, and I feel like we are some of the luckiest people in television to get to say their words and portray what they ask us to every single week. They couldn't be better. I haven't actually. No, I mean it's sort of, we wanted to be very careful about having it in every single episode be about a girl who's just looking for a father, because I think people could not necessarily get tired of it, but people could start to lose interest in that very, very quickly. I think you have to do it where you keep that storyline alive, and it's what inspires her, but it's not what is the entire series. You know what I mean? I think you have to find something else within her that keeps her going. So there's actually, it's a huge part of the storyline, but it's not focused on as much as maybe people will think it is going to be. Does that make any sense? A little bit? Okay, good. Okay. Probably not. Definitely not for the first season. I don't know what their plans are for second and third season. If there is one, you know, we hope. But probably not. I think it's better to keep them separate shows. I mean, Party of Five is a great show, and it's a great show on its own. And I hope that Time of Your Life will be a great show on its own as well. And I think symbolically, for Bailey and Sarah as characters, I think they're both going through the same thing of needing to feel like they can be separate people without each other in order to one day maybe come back together again. So it's better to keep it separate. You never know. Not much, no, but they've done a great thing because they know that I love music so much. They've written, she has lots of little odd jobs, but her one very consistent job in New York is she works at this bar where there's a karaoke machine, and her job is to sing karaoke late at night to get to close the bar down. But it's really funny because she has to sing the worst karaoke songs ever because then nobody wants to hear them, so they leave. But I at least get to sing in a bunch of the episodes, which is really fun for me. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's great. I will actually be in New York doing press, and so I'm probably, my best friend is flying out from Indiana to watch it with me and my mom, and we'll probably order New York pizza. It's appropriate that I'm going to be in New York. I'm very happy about that, actually. I think that's kind of a neat thing. So I'll be in New York, probably in my hotel room in my pajamas, eating Ray's pizza, watching it on the bed with my mom, my best friend. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Yes. Uh-huh. Fox News Edge feed. Okay. Hi, I'm Jennifer Love Hewitt from Time of Your Life, and this is the Fox News Edge feed. Thank you. Bye-bye.